Hello, friends! For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about music, worship, and how the book of Psalms can help us discover how to connect with God. You might think worship songs to God are always full of joy, praise, and stories of victory, but the book of Psalms contains worship songs that are filled with pain, grief, and even anger. Sometimes we make the mistake of believing that feeling sadness, grief, frustration, or anger means that we don't trust God or have enough faith, or that following Jesus means we should just always be joyful and hopeful. But the Bible tells us a very different story. Scripture is filled with the stories of people whose lives were really difficult, and so they responded with a full range of emotions, like sadness, grief, frustration, and anger. Lament is a passionate expression of grief or sorrow. Lamenting isn't complaining or whining. When we lament, we face our sadness instead of ignoring it. And lament also gives us the opportunity to walk through our sadness instead of avoiding it, which helps us to heal and move on. Lament is what happens when we experience something so difficult that we allow ourselves to wonder, God, where are you? Why have you abandoned me? Do you even hear me? Like this passage from Psalm 55, which says, "Listen to my prayer, O God. Do not ignore my plea. Hear me and answer me. My thoughts trouble me and I am distraught because of what my enemy is saying, because of the threats of the wicked. For they bring down suffering on me and assail me in their anger. My heart is in anguish within me. The terrors of death have fallen on me. Fear and trembling have beset me. Horror has overwhelmed me. I said, oh, that I had the wings of a dove. I would fly away and be at rest. I would flee far away and stay in the desert. I would hurry to my place of shelter, far from the tempest and storm." This psalm is a lament for injustice. It is a faithful protest to God over the hard things that we face in this world. When we acknowledge, question, or even protest the difficulties we experience, it doesn't mean our faith is shallow. Instead, it can actually help our faith grow deeper. These psalms teach us our worship of God shouldn't just happen during our best, brightest, and most hopeful moments. Like the writers of the Psalms, we can worship even in the deepest valleys of fear and desperation that we face in the world. Sometimes life is painful, but we can worship even when it's difficult. Remember that our God is bigger than all of our hurts and fears. There is no grief, no frustration, no pain you can bring to God that He can't handle. The next time you feel sadness, anger, or grief, I hope you don't ignore it or stuff it down. I hope you don't feel embarrassed or overwhelmed by it. I hope you bring it to God in lament as an act of worship.